may have heard of the saying, every little helps. This is folk wisdom that has passed down through many generations. Well, I've always wondered what little you and I have, but I can't help but remember as a child when I casually listened to Akon's song Lonely without understanding the heaviness in the lyrics. A part of the lyrics goes like this: Lonely, I am Mr. Lonely. I have nobody to call my own. You see, the feeling of loneliness can be as deadly as the spread of a virus. Let's talk about loneliness. According to Jenny Dejean-Geveld, loneliness is a situation an individual experiences when there's been an unpleasant discrepancy between the number and quality of social relationships desired and social relationships realized. So a person may desire for social relationships, but ends up having only one. Or a person may desire a level of intimacy in the relationship and it never gets realized. As human beings, we do get lonely at different points in our lives. But a special group of people who are more likely to be lonely are the seniors in our communities. A recent report from the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering and Medicine points out that more than 1/3 of adults aged 45 and older feel lonely. And nearly 1/4 of adults aged 65 and older are socially isolated. Older adults are at increased risk of seclusion and isolation due to factors like living alone, the loss of family, the loss of friends, chronic illness, or hearing loss. The current pandemic has further increased the seclusion and isolation of seniors in our societies, as there has been a shutdown of routine activities and social engagements in a bid to curb the spread of the coronavirus. We also need to remember that most seniors do not have access to online platforms like social media, and they do not even know how to navigate through this in order to feel a sense of connection with each other. Herein lies how the youths and young adults need to step in to bridge the gap by adopting a senior in their communities. So what does adopting a senior entail? Adopting a senior entails proactively seeking out an older member of your community and engaging in a social activity that allows for bonding and building of trust on both parties. We also need to adhere to the preventative measures of washing of hands, wearing of masks, and social distancing until the pandemic is behind us. You see, a social activity can also include weekly calls. Adopting a senior means creating an environment for sharing of lives with each other. So my adopting a senior started when I got on the elevator one day, and this senior asked me where I was headed, and I told her. And the next thing she said to me was, I used to be able to do that, but we've been advised not to because of the pandemic. In that moment, I got my wake-up call. I realized that there was something I could give, which is companionship. So I made inquiries on the best and pandemic-compliant way to adopt a senior. In September 2020, I met Miss Wilson. Miss Wilson is an 86-year-old woman who lives alone, who's never been married, and who has no children. Every Thursday between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. has been earmarked as Miss Wilson's time, and every Thursday looks different. On Thursdays when I'm able to pay her a visit, because spend time watching Judy, I could just sit down and listen to her share stories of her childhood, or I could help her with her grocery list. On days when I'm not able to pay her a visit, I would call her up to find out how she's doing. In the span of 6 months, I have witnessed tremendous benefits to myself and Miss Wilson, and this I would like to share with you. The number one benefit is there has been a desire to be better. You see, Miss Wilson of today isn't the Miss Wilson I met in September 2020. She's healthier and she's happier. And she eats better as well. What I can affirmatively say to you is that when there's someone who cares about you enough to get to know you, it makes you become better. There's never a time we have a conversation where I don't ask her what she's eating or how she's been eating, and she's very honest in the conversations, in her answers on how she's faring, and that has made me make some suggestions to her, which she has taken on, and I have become better. You see, relating with Miss Wilson has instilled in me a different level of patience in how I relate with everyone around me. Well, I hope I get to say that. But you see, you would agree with me that the pace of an 86-year-old woman in speech and action and movement is different from that of a youth. So I have learned to be patient in my dialogues with her. And I have also learned to be present in my conversations as well. There's a sense of accountability as well, because any conversation I have with Ms. Wilson would always ask each other what we've been up to every week. And she never fails to share some form of wisdom with me. The second benefit is there's been a sense of fulfillment. You see, as we embark on the journey of rebuilding with the after effects of the pandemic, we need to see results from the actions we take. And this will spur us on to keep going. There have been days when I have doubted if there was any impact with the visits or calls I have made to Ms. Wilson. But hearing that her handwriting has become bolder and clearer, and how she's able to remember things better, and even just how healthier she is, has spurred me on to believe that there's no interaction that is too small to light a positive change in a person, more so a senior. Another benefit is we get to have a wholesome society. Imagine a society where people sought to make the life of another better with what they had. Now that's a wholesome society. As human beings, our default approach is to go about our personal agendas. And that not being wrong, but I believe that adopting a senior is a great way to stir up the desire and zeal to look out for the interests of another. This is an initiative that embodies being our brother's keeper. You see, in a time of adversity, we require strength to overcome. And the youths and young adults are the lifeline of the world. Supporting our seniors socially and emotionally builds the tomorrow that we are looking forward to. Providing companionship and support to our seniors should not just be the work or the responsibility of a personal support worker or the government. It should be a collective responsibility. As we look forward to life post the pandemic, it's important that we collectively use our little to build a healthier community by supporting our seniors, that we make sure that they're being catered to. You see, taken from Akon's song, "Let's be somebody a senior can call his or her own in our community." Thank you.